going to sew the POM today. It is pattern number 1850. It is called Quilted Jacket. It is going to be anything but quilted and everything but quilted. But I really saw, just been doing lots of shopping, and I have seen so many versions of this. So I'm excited to bring this to you as the POM, which we'll actually do Monday. But before we do that, we have shipped out an awful lot of these, and we're going to go ahead and do the sewing. So again, it was suggested to us that we do kind of a live guide sheet, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to be working on the sewing machine and the serger and just give you some ideas of ways to do this. And I'll kind of talk as I'm sewing. I think that we have seen that there are, what I chose to do with this first off is I left off the front facing. So I'm only using 4 pieces: the front, the side front because it's a princess seam, the side back, and the back. Because this fabric is a Rebecca Taylor. It's not a stripe, but it has a definite row to it, that I cut the center back vertical and I cut the side panels horizontal. So we'll get some interesting texture going on as they are going different directions. All right, so another thing I did, and I'll just tell you all this in the beginning and then I'll sew and maybe we'll speed it up because the sewing's not that thrilling, is I cut the back the length of the pattern, but I cut the front 3 inches shorter. So that means the side, back, and the back are the length the pattern comes, which is long. It'll cover your rear. But then I cut the side front and the front 3 inches shorter, and the reason I did that is because it's a trend right now to have the back a little bit longer than the front, and when I say a little longer, 3 inches. So, and you just sew them together. You actually hem the front before you sew them together so that you can, or you leave a little bit of a slit and stop sewing and then, hem it up. You can do it either way. I'm actually going to hem the front first and then sew the side seam is what I'm going to do. This is a kimono sleeve. In Monday, I'm going to show you how to really fine tune that kimono because so many of you will say, I can't stand kimonos. Don't say that. Hold off. Wait for judgment. And I'm going to show you how to fine tune that kimono to where it really fits beautifully, almost like a set-in sleeve. And like I said, we'll go over that. But again, I wanted to do this kind of sewing guide live. So I'm just going to sew and not talk. That way we can kind of speed this up so it won't be really, really long. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm using the selvage for the fringe around the front, which is why I took away the facing. Again, I wanted to have a more sweater effect. So I'm doing fringe down the front. I used 2 yards of fabric. And I'm adding pockets. And those pockets literally, I cut them opposite again of the front. So you'll see all that. But I'm just putting pockets on again to give it a more sweatery feel. I'm going to put elastic in the back and then a little Satoshi. I think my kids play too many Asian games because all I can think of is Satoshi dice. And I know that's not what it is. But I'm not sure what this is. Succotash, I don't know. I'll find out the name and we'll have it on the site. I've got to go over there tomorrow before the website. The website's a ways off. This is actually a while ago. I mean, we have a ways to go. All right, so like I said, I'm going to start sewing back and forth and we'll get it sewn. So there's only 4 seams. It's really easy. Center back is on the fold. So there's the side princess seams, which I'm going to start with. And we'll turn the camera so you can see it all. Okay, so the order of sewing is just like the guide sheet. I sewed up the back, I sewed up the front, and then I'm sewing together the shoulder seams. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off the neck edge. And what I did is I'm using selvage. The selvage is just really, really pretty. So I cut the selvage. I'm going to serge along the cut edge and then lay it right underneath the front and stitch it in place so that the fringe sticks out of the selvage. Like I said, it's really pretty. It's got a little bit of a white thread in there, but I played with it earlier, and what I found is you could just pull it right out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pull it right out. So that selvage will just come down the front. Then I'm going to sew the pockets on, and I will show it to you.
It's delicious.
All right, so I'm going to get to a position where I can tell that you can see what's going on here. This is the front of the jacket. And what I'm going to put the pocket right there on the front. I'll try it on and make sure the pocket's all right. Where the selvage is going to go is I've serged that edge. So I'm going to put I've serged the edge of the jacket and I've serged the edge of the selvage. And I'm going to lay those right on top of each other and sew them together. And then I'm going to bring the selvage over it and then just top stitch. So it's not going to be a trim. There's lots of ways to do it. This is just a way that I'm going to do it because I think it'll look best. I mean, I could do it this way and bring it like that. I'm going to do it that way, and then I'm going to bring it on top. So there'll be 2 rows of stitching. The first one will be the 2 selvage edges together, and the second one I'll be wrapping it on top so that the selvage points out. And you're not going to be able to see that. So this is, I'm going to stop there and then show you the jacket on Monday when it's finished. And I do want to tell you that one of the reasons I picked this jacket as a jacket to do in our line, it's because it's such a great jacket. It's so versatile. It's so easy. And again, Monday I'm going to show you how to just make it fit perfect so you'll have no issues with it. And it'll be great. So remember, there's only the 2 front princess seams, the back 2, and then the side is just angled. That's all there is to it. Lots of different ways to do it. I'm going to give you some ideas on that, but for right now, I just wanted you to see the basic jacket, how it goes together, and the options that you have. So, happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns. See you Monday.